It's okay. Didn't stop the recording, so
Perfect.
That's all that matters. Hi, welcome back to my favorite podcast. We're your favorite co-hosts.
Ooh.
Aaron drops the microphone and Sweeney, and Ty drops a tiny cup turner.
That's right. I'm Ty drops a tiny cup turner. Somebody tweeted me. Must have been a listener of the podcast because I haven't talked about cup cut anywhere else. But they tweeted me and said that the genie from Aladdin has a cup cut. It totally does. It's just like the cup, and that's all.
I love it. I was about to say, like, I hope that somebody gives like their dog a little cup cut, but then I was like, is that cruel?
Depends on the kind of dog.
Some dogs need a little trim, like the Maltese dogs, you know.
Yeah, give your
Poodles.
Maltese a cup cut.
Give your poodle a cup cut, please. So, this week, we're going to be doing the Myers-Briggs personality test. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And possibly the color test. If not, then we do the color test another week. But we're starting with this one. So, last week we found out what Pokemon we were. Today we find out what kind of people we are.
Wow.
And I'm pretty excited about it.
That's depth.
I don't know how much I buy into any sort of like finite pool of like types of people, but I think they're fun to do nonetheless. But it kind of just reminds me a bit of horoscopes, except at least this one is based off of your own choices and not when you were born.
Right. What stars were up when you were born? I believe it. I think they're accurate. I mean, I've seen them, but it's easy. I think just like with horoscopes, you see what's written and you're like, oh, that's totally me. And it's like the most vague shit. So
yeah, I don't remember how precise they are. That's why I'm like, we're gonna redo it.
We're gonna figure it out. Have you ever done it before?
Yeah, a long time ago.
See,
but I don't remember anything.
I started one and then I got bored really fast, and it was like way too much to read, so I stopped. I bet that's a personality type.
I'm like, I feel like that might have something to do with it. So I sent you the link, but it's on the wrong page.
I found it.
You have to click on.
Take the test.
Take the test. Yeah, that's the one that you did it.
Is
there one here for super genius? I'm kidding. So we're gonna jump right into it, mostly because I think a lot of like some of these questions might be like good prompts and might accidentally end us on like some tangents. But I feel like my face is so illuminated.
Yeah, there's a lot of white screen.
That's okay. Do we have the same first question? You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people.
Oh, God.
And it's on a scale from big agree. So, okay, the scale is there's neutral in the middle, and all the way to the left, there's big agree, medium agree, small agree. And then all the way on the right, there's big disagree, medium disagree, small disagree. So that's how we're going to be.
Meeting in the middle.
Yeah?
No, that's not me. I just mean that one's there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, then there's the neutral in the middle.
Neutral.
So you enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. I'm going to have the small
certain
disagree.
aspects of them, but I hate a lot of aspects about them. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to go, did you go small disagree? I feel like that's me.
Yeah, I put a small disagree because I'm like, there are so many variables. It's like maybe there might be some that I might enjoy, but there's always going to be some aspect of social anxiety. So I'm like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I would want to miss all of them because like by this description, then like, I don't know, the Philly Trans Health Conference is a vibrant, and like I still enjoy going, but I just, you know, do I enjoy packed spaces with lots of people? No. So small disagree.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to change mine to true neutral because sometimes I think that it could go either way. I'm true neutral on that one.
That's fair. Dude, I would need more specifics. Like,
yeah, it's too vague.
Who are the people? Like, lots of people. Well, lots of what kind of people? You know, is it my friends or anyway? So next question. You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas.
Oh, big agree for me,
folks. It's a giant agree. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary.
Nope.
Like, that gives me anxiety to read. I feel like I'm a mix because it's like if I have a detailed itinerary, then I'm also going to be anxious. I'm gonna be like, that's too many things.
It's got to be exactly that, or else it's all ruined.
Yeah, I'm like, forget it. We're not going. So I don't know. I feel like a rough list of ideas rather than a detailed itinerary. You know what? I think I'm gonna put like a medium agree for me because like fuck, I don't know.
Mine
But
is going to be
like,
a small disagree. I got to know everything is in order, but a lot of it, I know that if I hit that too hard, I'm going to freak out.
yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like I'm kind of I don't know because I'm like I've realized that I do better with schedules. Like even my video schedules, it like if I don't have a schedule, even if I'm like 5 videos ahead, I have anxiety because I feel like I'm behind. So I need the structure. Otherwise, it always feels like I'm missing, like I have loose ends, you know?
That's so funny that you said that. I'm not going to show the screen, but I have a 6-week plan of all of 3 of my weekly videos planned out and where they're going to go and what they're going to be. And like,
Me too.
This is
I've just done that.
It's got to be there. Yeah. Or else my channel goes to absolute shit. Cause I'm like, the fire alarm is ringing and all the little SpongeBobs in my heads are running around.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. This is what I hate about moving because I'm like, I won't be able to film. There's like a 2 to 3 week period where I can't film because I can't settle quickly. It takes me a long time to pack and it takes me a long time to unpack and, so, and I'm also like, anyway, it's a lot. So because of that, I'm being even more detailed with my plan, but it's just, anyway,
I'm not going full detailed itinerary because I've seen that in person before. When I went to visit my sister in Bulgaria, when I came there, she has one of those smart notebooks where you can like scan it and like it puts it in your phone or the cloud or whatever, and then you can erase it and you write with pen, but you can, I don't know, it has like QR codes on the paper. And when I got there, she had planned out everything about my travel there. Oh, I'm sorry. UG?
I'm sorry. I was checking to see if my girlfriend was okay. It's my cat. Oh, go ahead.
Basically, my sister had planned out everything, like different meals we could make while I was on the trip, and different restaurants we could visit if we didn't want those meals at home, and like what time we could do this, and this trip would be here, and here's the things that I like, so we might visit some of these, like. The definition of detailed itinerary she had. Yeah. So I'm like, I know I'm not that. So I'm going to go in the middle.
I went on a trip once with my dad's orchestra when I was playing in the band, and it was an all girls orchestra, but there was always like one lady that year who would be in charge of the orchestra and like personally in charge, not like conducting in charge. So on the orchestra trip, she had this itinerary that it was just booked to every minute, like back to back, fucking shit. Anus to anus. There was not a minute. You wake up, like you're going to bed every night at midnight, and you're going to wake up at like 5 o'clock sharp every morning. And like, there's always like, it's not fun anymore. It's like, she wants to make sure that we take advantage as much as we can of this trip.
Everything,
and it's like,
and do everything.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm not enjoying myself. I feel like I'm in like boot camp. I just want to breathe. Sometimes you just want to lie down next to a pool like a little starfish. You don't want to explore.
Yeah, I had one of those. We had a New York trip at my school, and I would sleep. I got in trouble because I felt one of the things, which I was like, they require us to go to a church there. So I slept through church, and then I got in trouble for that. And it was like a vibrant church. It was like loud, and people are getting up and yelling, and I slept through it. So that happened. Got in trouble for that. Slept through the Mary Poppins Broadway show. Got in trouble for that. Like every chance that like I had, if I was sitting, I was asleep. We had bus rides, and any bus ride, I was asleep. It was exhausting. I cannot travel like that.
It's stressful,
and that's why I'm like,
Yeah. I feel like the definition of a rough list of ideas. I'm going to settle for that definition and be like, yeah, small agree, because a rough list of ideas sounds like what my planning sounds like. So I'm gonna go with
okay.
But it might sound a little too loose to you if you're like, it's not going to be a rough list of ideas. It's going to be quite organized, but it's not going to be like to the minute. So.
Oh yeah, even the term rough list of ideas is more organized than going into travel just being like, I'm gonna go somewhere. I think.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, I need to know where I'm going, who am I going with, when am I, I need some details. I can't just be like, yeah, go where the wind blows. Right. Although I respect you if you do that. Next question. You often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it has taken place.
Oh, big agree on my part.
Yeah. Yeah, no, all the time. I usually... Sorry, we're going on tangents for each of these questions. That was kind of the point. But yeah, oftentimes I am glad that in most conversations I could be pretty like quick. Like I'm pretty quick with the like, I don't know. I don't want to say quick-witted. That sounds like arrogant, but
you are quick-witted. You are witty. You always say like comments that are in response to what was said. You know.
Thank you. I'm just like, even when it comes to like events, I'm usually pretty good at recalling things, so it doesn't take me that much time to reflect. But if it's like a particularly emotional thing, sometimes it's hard for me to find words, and then I'm just like 3 business days later, I'm like, that's what I should have said. I get it now. Now I know how to say it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, big agree. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is support them emotionally, not to try to solve their problem.
Big disagree.
No. Same. I try not to give unsolicited advice, so I'll ask. I'll be like, would you like advice? But the first place my head goes to, even if I don't say it, is like, how could I fix this?
Oh, yeah, that's me. If someone is like venting to me, I'm like, well, here's your problem. And they're like, I know, and here's why it sucks. And I'm like, okay, well, you know the problem, so fix the problem.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Here's where I get confused. Like, again, I won't offer unsolicited advice. I totally get it, but I don't know how else to be emotionally supportive other than like, you know, that's really unfortunate. Sorry you're going through that. I'm here if you need me. I don't know how. I'm like, how does that, when I put myself in their shoes, I'm like, how are these words comforting you in any way? I feel like if I'd be coming, I'd be like, give me your feedback. I need pie charts.
What do I do? Like, step A, step B.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a big part of how I am. Like, and so whenever I'm talking, I found that like starting therapy and stuff was really weird because it is just a lot of like talking about your problems. And I do that anyways. Like I complain about shit, but it's only shit that like, I don't know. It's just different. I feel like interacting with my therapist is probably different than how she interacts with other people because I'm like, well, I know this is the problem and I know this and this could do it and this and this.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, so how does that make you feel? And I'm like, I guess shitty because I can't change it. But if I could change it, like this is how it needs to be changed, but I can't be the one to do that. And that sucks. You know, that kind of thing.
Exactly. A lot of like, here's what I'm going through. Here's, you know, like I literally analyze the whole situation. It's like, well, it seems like you understand the situation pretty well. I'm like, yes. Now, what do I do about that? Yeah. Which of these options is the strongest? But like, I need help, even though it seems like I get it. I don't. So yeah. Next, people can rarely upset you.
I'm going to go with big agree on that. I'm pretty like, I'm not very temperamental. I think I have a long fuse. It takes a lot for someone to piss me off, truly. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's me.
I'm going to go with small agree because although it is like, even when I do get upset, it's really short-lived. It's hard for me to stay mad for a long time. Even though I could be hurt for a while, it's just, it comes in like little like bursts. My immediate instinct is to be like, it's okay. Like I don't want to feel angry. I don't want to stay angry. I don't actually literally feel angry for long. But people can rarely upset you. I do feel like I do get upset like when things are like unjust in the world and like I'm easily distressed. You get what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, no, that's true. It's not hard to have me get like riled up over something I'm passionate about. So small agree.
Next.
You often... Oh, sorry. Did you want to... I don't want to read over.
I don't want to read, but I would like to say we're 10% done. So we're doing good.
Oh, wow. Cool. Knew this would work. So you often rely on other people to be the ones...
Do you want me to read some? Because I can.
No, I like reading them. I just didn't want to like take over and be like, much too good for children. So yeah. Sorry, Matilda. Yeah, so I was just like, if you want to read, you can go ahead, but otherwise I'm just going to...
Yes, you can. I would love that.
Cool. So you often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going.
I think my default is yes, unless I know that it's someone that I want to talk to, and then I will try to... Like, that sounds like an asshole thing to say. I put in effort to have a conversation with someone if I really find them, like, intriguing. But other than that, I just kind of go along with whatever anyone else is talking about because I don't really care that much.
Yeah. I feel like I try really hard to start conversations or keep them going, especially if it's like I don't get a lot of social interaction. So if you all see me referencing Philly a lot, it's because that's like 70% of the social interaction I get in real life outside the internet. So when I'm in Philly, let's say if someone is coming to meet me, I feel like I have this responsibility to keep conversation going or initiate conversation or put them more at ease.
Right.
So in those situations, no, I don't rely on the other person to keep the conversation going because I'm trying hard. The things I'm terrible at it. So low key on the inside, I am kind of like, please help. I'm like, I will totally let someone else take the lead on a conversation. So I feel like I have to, am I neutral? Hang on. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation. Keep going. I'm going to put a small disagree. Damn, I don't know. Because I'm like, when I'm at school, I'm like, I am not going to talk to you. But I feel like that's a different thing. I feel like that's more like me praying that nobody will speak to me. So yeah.
I know like conversation prompts that if I can't, like if I'm in a social setting and nobody's really talking, I'll like say a certain phrase or something that I know will always like get people to start talking. And then it's like fun and not uncomfortable. But other than that, like I'm still lost on where I would even be on this spectrum.
Yeah.
I think it's it's like a yes, but it's also a no. It's situational.
Yeah. I think I'm going to put a small disagree because like then I think about counseling. Like even though I'm not a licensed counselor, there are plenty of times where people are like, I went and go do a talk and one of the people one of the fellow presenters like was going through some stuff and I was like, do you want to talk about it? And we talked about it. It's like when I am doing some sort of counseling, I'm not relying on them at all to keep the conversation going. I have like prompts that I know and like will try to help people get to this. So I'm like, you know what? It depends the context. I'm going to put a small disagree.
Oh yeah. You definitely do that. I know even with the podcast, like you write down things relative to the topic that you want to talk about. And I don't do that. So maybe I'm
it's
neutral.
Fine. It's mostly to do with my own, like, I know where I lack some social skills and my, like, the way I've learned to interact is just, like, ask questions, honestly. It's like if you have nothing, like, my biggest thing is usually I sometimes feel like I have nothing to add or nothing to...
Right. I feel like I'm not making it any better or, like, helping them. So I'm just boring them.
So, yeah, it's like... I've just kind of learned to ask questions, and usually through asking questions, even if I started off with nothing to say, something that someone might go off of from the question. If you what did I answer? Yeah, okay, so that was a minor disagree for me.
I'm doing that one too. Sorry.
That's if you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible.
This is the hardest question I've ever had.
Right, it's like intention versus action.
Right, because if I get distracted from something and I could plan to come back to it 5 minutes later, it could be an actual week before I remember that I was doing that fucking thing. And that's why I don't get shit done. I try really hard to stay on top of my text messages and stuff because I know that I'm notorious for not, like, I'll open a message and then I get distracted and I'm trying to answer and I want to give my full attention, so I don't want to give a half-ass answer. So I was literally trying to answer a friend and put on socks at the same time, and I couldn't do both. And went 20 minutes trying to put on my other sock because I kept, like, answering my friend, then, like, putting on one sock, and then, like, I stopped. That sock is half on. I'm like, okay, finish answering. And then, like, wait, I don't have my sock on yet. Finish putting on the sock. Then, like, I continue answering. I send. They answer back right away. I answer. 20 minutes. And I was like, I don't have my left sock on yet. I was like, what? That is exactly my life. That's a perfect example. I walked back and forth from the light. So I turn the light on, and then it also has the light pool for the fan. But then there's, like, the switch. And I needed the light on because I was looking for my shirt. But there's, like, a window, so I didn't want to, like, walk by the window because I didn't have my shirt on. So I, like, move, and then I'm like, oh, wait, I gotta turn on the light. Oh, wait, the window. Oh, wait, the light. And that's just the simple, like, that's not even two different things. That's the same task. I literally just kept getting distracted by.
Yeah, and like I know sometimes when you explain these things to people, like if I explain the sock thing, it seems so simple. They're like, just put on your socks and then answer your friend. I'm like, okay, but it doesn't end that. You don't get out. I got out of the shower. You don't get out of the shower and just put on socks. Okay, you put on underwear too. All right, and pants and a shirt. And I don't know what I'm going to wear yet. And I'm very particular about my underwear. I don't know what underwear I'm in the mood to wear. I don't even know where I put my pants. Where are my pants? Another 20 minutes goes by. And this is how my text messages end up unanswered. So I know I need to answer this person. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, they continue to answer back. And I'm like, so I'm trying to put on the socks. I don't want to get to, like, it's just, this is how it happens. Because then it's like, and once I'm done getting dressed, it's not like my goal for the day was to be dressed. My goal for the day was to do something after I get dressed. So it's just, I end up not answering the person.
Yeah, for like a long time.
But the thing is, conversations also last forever. Mm-hmm. Like, if I just continue to answer people back attentively, then I do nothing else in the day. So listen, socializing baffles me. It's not that it's inconvenient. It's not that I don't like it. It's that I don't understand how to do other things. It takes so much of my full attention. Otherwise, I don't want to hurt people's feelings and give short. Like, I want to really, care about what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So that, and is it my rats that have been making all that noise?
Could have been.
Yeah, and it's like that for a lot of things, like literally answering emails, or it's even if it's not like talking stuff. Where you were saying like what's it called with the window? You were saying something. Was it the curtain that you were closing?
Oh yeah, the curtain. I needed to close the curtain and I needed to turn on the light, and I walked back and forth between the two of them because like I needed to do the other one in order to like finish the task.
Exactly. Like it's like that when you're trying to cook and you're like, okay, all right, I need to clear up space. It's like, okay, I walk in with groceries. I'm like, I'm going to cook tonight. I'm like, hey, I need to make space on the counter so I could cook. But I also need to put these groceries. But now there's no space on the counter. But where do I put okay, I'll put the groceries on the floor. I'll clear out the counter. Okay, I'll put these. And it's just this never ending. It's like, oh my, just do it. How is it this hard? But that's executive dysfunction, folks. That's, if you're wondering what executive dysfunction is, literally like trying to find the starting point on a circle. There is none. So you just keep going in circles. Yeah. So, oops, I punched my microphone. So sorry. So if you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. The irony. I feel like my brain's first, it's like, yes, I have to get on task as soon as possible. Realistically, I don't. I like legitimately, I will get derailed over and over and over. So I'm gonna have to put like, do I put like a small disagree or like a medium disagree? Because I feel like I want to get back on task. Yeah, because I want to get back on task, but I know that I won't. And like to some extent, I do accept that, and I understand like it's like I'm getting other stuff done. So
I think I might even put a big disagree.
I was about to. I was like, you know what? We're going to change that to a big disagree. I'm like, I definitely don't make it a priority to get back on task unless it's absolutely urgent. So
yeah. I'm thinking like realistically, that's me. It could take me a few days to do the thing that I needed to do a few days ago.
Because then you get on task with other things, and then it's like, it's not like there's necessarily like, what makes that other thing that you got off task more important than the thing that you got onto task with? It's a whole priority thing. Mm-hmm.
It's like a freelancing thing too, because it's like everything is work. Well, I'm working on this. Yeah. Oh, I need to work on that. And it's like, fuck it all.
Yeah, even like I love my Discord server and I love the people in my Discord server, but I consider that also to some extent a part of my work, because a lot of it, even though there are a lot of people in there that I'm like super familiar with, there are also a lot of people I'm not familiar with. And there's like, I still also have to like maintain order there and like maintain a certain like level of composure. It's not like I'm it's still, I'm interacting with people, not only people that I know. And it's something that I try to keep it active, and I try to also like give advice wherever I can if I go into like some of the more advice. So, when you're freelancing, it's like a lot of things that might not seem like work end up being part of your work. So it's like, yes, I got sidetracked because I got into this conversation here, but this is still part of what I do. Mm-hmm. Like it's community building. So yeah.
And when you have like being YouTubers and stuff, having this like recurring like flow of there's always more videos to make, so it's like, it's really easy to want to work on the one that you're excited about that you just came up with the plan for like 2 weeks from now, but I have this one up on deck for editing,
Exactly. You're just like, okay, everything's on schedule for this one, and then like I go to the store and I see this thing and I'm like, oh, I have to do this. Like I have to build this thing. It's going to be such a fun video, and you go home, you're like, I want to build this thing and I'm going to film it now, but then you end up like so like it's not necessarily like, yes, I got off task from the other thing, but I'm still in the long run contributing, like I'm still on task to some extent. So that's why I'm like, big disagree, I guess, because honestly it's so subjective as to what is on task. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, and I can convince myself that pretty much anything I'm doing is on task. I'm really good at that. So
oh my god,
big disagree.
Playing Pokemon Go. Yeah. It's like, this is
we're
good
gonna make a podcast about it, so this is work.
Right, it's like getting me out of the house. So tomorrow, no, same. This could be content, right?
That's, oh my god, that's my life. I'm like, anything that I have to spend a lot of money on, I'm going to find a way to make this into a video, because it's going to take up time, and I'm going to write it off my taxes.
Yep.
Okay,
next question. You rarely worry if you make a good impression on someone you met. Yes and no. I
think I'm true neutral on this, because it depends on I usually don't care unless, I don't know. I mean, I have this thing where I really need to be liked. But
yeah, I'm putting a small disagree, because that's the thing. It's like, I've worked a lot on this, and it's a lot of not even growing up. Like I was a pretty weird kid. I'm kind of like, a lot of the time I'm like, I don't care what you think of me. But then a lot of the time I'm also like, does everyone hate me? Mm-hmm. What if I'm not like, I'm so like, I do care. I care if I made a bad impression, or so I'm like, it's okay. It's a small disagree. It's like, yeah, maybe. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored.
Biggest disagree in my life.
Right, they need a bigger button. Podcast is canceled. Go home. You are more of a detail-oriented than bigger picture person. Oh yes, absolutely.
This one's hard for me. I think that I found comfort in bigger picture thinking as a young person whenever I was in situations where like I had to step outside of my immediate situation in order to feel okay. Mm-hmm. And that has made me apply that to other areas of my life that I'm not comfortable with. So I tend to feel more comfortable thinking bigger picture, but I feel like I perhaps obsess over details at the same time.
I think it does seem like a mix for you, because I think that part of what makes like even us like a strong team as creators is that like I've always, like the beginning of time, I've always felt like as in a group, my strongest asset is coming in the middle. Like if someone's like just tells me this is what we're doing, I'm like, good, and I could run with it, and then I just need someone to cap it. Like I just need like an end. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to actually building from bare bones, that's where I'm like, all those little details I love to, again, might a lot have to do with executive dysfunction, but I do also get fixated on details. Like sometimes it's really hard for me to see the bigger picture, but with you, like the reason we balance out is you are really good at the details. Like when it comes down to like, you talk about your stuff, I'm like, that is detail. But you're also really good at having this well-rounded, like, plan. You're good. Like, the plans are good. You go to something like, it's very
that's kind
package.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Sometimes I feel like all the nuts and bolts in the IKEA package, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like, it's like, what is it? It could be a chair, a table, I don't know, a ceiling fan. But, like, I feel like you have this whole, like, you're like a Kinder Surprise, you know? So it has little pieces in it, but it's a whole kit.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
That's so
you're
kind.
Kind of in between. Oh, no problem. You're glad you like being a Kinder Surprise.
I love that.
I'm allergic to chocolate, Aaron.
I'm vegan.
Children could choke on those.
Make them illegal. I'm going small disagree on this one. Cool. Or should I go medium I'm going to go small disagree.
You are very affectionate with people you care about.
Like huggy and kissy and that kind of shit?
It doesn't say physically affectionate. Like, this is where I have a problem, because I seem very cold and standoffish, but I actually am just like, love to love the people around me, but in the seemingly most cold and analytical way possible, much like I just did. Like, I'm very affectionate with the people around me, but in this very bizarre, instruction pamphlet kind of way. So
That's
I don't
honestly
know.
like some of the kindest like affection to receive. Like it means a lot to have someone who has like this, not only expressing how they like you, but like the reasons, or I don't know, you're nice in a way that like makes me believe that it's true, because you like back it up, you show your work.
That's I'm like, I know it's like, it's so super, like, it's a weird thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, no, here's why I like you in today's thesis defense.
Yeah, I would say
Like, I
you
need to
are
make sure
very
you know it.
affectionate.
Thanks. It's just a non-traditional kind of affection. So okay, I'm gonna put like big agree, because like I think even a lot of the viewers here, especially the ones who are like closer or interact with Morgan, like, now you know you're big affection. So yeah, I'll put big agree.
I think I'm neutral, because I don't know. If I can't think of any ways that I'm affectionate towards people, then I'm probably a disagree. So I'm going to do a small disagree. It depends, because there's like your love languages. Like, I don't know what mine is, and that could be considered affection. Like, what if mine is something that I can't think of? I don't know those. I'm going true neutral.
I mean, I don't know. I can't choose for you, but I'm just like, you seem very, when it comes to the people in your life, you take very good care of them.
Yeah, I do that.
And you're reliable. And it's like, that is also a form of affection. You get what I'm saying? Like, you are, I can't do, like, remember that time you like fought off kids on bikes with like from my girlfriend? Like, you know, things like, you are, that is a caring, that is a sort of affection. It's a protectiveness. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a nurturing. Protective. Yeah. It's a nurturing kind of nature where like you're going to take care of the people around you. So I'm like, I think that that's a type of affection, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm, yeah.
I agree. I just feel like there's so much more. Like, I could be way nicer to the people that I care about. I actually think about that a lot, where I'm like, I don't really show people enough that I appreciate them, and I don't really go out of my way to like show people that I care about them. And I feel like that's something about me that like I have tried to intentionally change, but I don't know if that's necessarily what they're even. I'm just gonna go true neutral. That way we don't have to try to analyze my whole ass on this one question.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Oh, this next question is funny. Given the last one, you have a careful and methodical approach to life. You know,
I'm gonna go with a big agree on that one.
Big, yeah, that's a hearty agree.
That's the thickest agree.
You are right. So we're both like taking down our PowerPoints. Like, that was a good.
Yeah, we figured that one out.
There, yeah.
We're folding up the canvas.
Case closed. Yeah, exactly.
Oh god.
You are still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago. Yeah, unfortunately. It's almost. Okay, I'm gonna like reflect first.
I feel like I'm embarrassed by some things that I did when I was younger, or at least I used to be a lot more. And now I'm like, I don't care, because I was like young when I did that, so fuck it.
Exactly. It's kind of those things where it's like, if why now? Sorry, my rat is like la 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 la. So sorry for the sound. I feel like just their little tongues just go like wild on the little bottle.
So cute.
I feel like if I think too hard about like, I don't know, that one time in 4th grade where my friend said that I could throw his jacket in a puddle, but then he cried, and I was like, but then why did you tell me I could do it? And I feel really bad about it. Like, I feel so guilty. Or like, I don't know, when I was like 3 or 4 and I had a hamster and I put it on the front of my Jeep that I was riding, and then he jumped down and he got hurt, and I still blame myself. So, you know, like, so I'm like, I am still bothered by that, but it's like, do I wake up every night in a cold sweat thinking about Hammy or like Tyler from 4th grade? No.
Excuse me? You threw my jacket where?
But he told me I could. Okay.
I feel like I get that to an extent, and I just thought of something recently where like, I had this dog when I was younger, and we got it as a puppy, and it was like kind of a sketchy situation, and she ended up getting sick and not making it. And like, for a long time I blamed myself because I didn't know really how to take care of her or what was wrong, and I wish that I would have just taken her to the vet, because I like didn't, but I didn't know to, and like my parents didn't like offer that as like, hey, let's take her to the vet. I was a kid, you know? So I blamed myself for that for a long time until I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, oh no, you don't remember it right. Like, we had her looked at, and the problem with it was nothing that anybody could have done anything about. And I'm not going to go into details about it, but she basically had some sort of I don't know what it was, like a neurological issue or something that wouldn't have gotten better, and it wasn't going to get better. And so like I was so upset about that for forever, and it was literally like last year that I talked to my mom about it. And there would be points where I would be like a full adult, like crying about this puppy that I had as a kid, because I was like, I should have taken better care of her.
Yeah,
so
I feel you.
I would say yeah.
And so it's a hard question. It's like, do I think about this all the time? No, but if I think about it enough, yeah, I'm still bothered.
I'm going to make myself upset. I'm going to do true neutral.
This whole quiz, like, I don't know.
I don't know any of this. Like, I can't think of myself objectively and know if I'm this type of person or that type of person. I just have to try to think of examples, and I can find examples for everything in here. So I don't know which one happens more.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm gonna put agree for this one just because I'm like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, Tyler. I didn't ask to throw it in the puddle. It was just, he was like, I don't care. And I was like, but it's gonna get wet. He's like, so do it. I'm like, you want me to throw your jacket in a puddle? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And then he cried. I'm like, then why did you tell me to?
He shouldn't have told you to do it.
Right? Damn it, Tyler. But now I know you don't throw people's jackets. And yeah, I know that, like, the logic with my teachers was like, just don't throw people's clothes into the water. I'm like, but he told me to. It's like, yeah, just don't do it though. I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
Noted.
Also, I think I might go small agree, because literally before we started the podcast, like, we had this whole conversation about something I did at last year's Philly that I felt bad about, and you're like, you're not even the asshole in that situation.
I'm trying not to, like...
No, tell me. If you have an example for me, tell me, because I'm not good at this.
Okay, cool, because I'm like, I don't want to seem like this fucking, like, Joe know-it-all who's just like, actually, I know you, but I was just like, I could think of... we literally just had a conversation about this. You're like, hey, last year this thing happened, and I'm like, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's okay. You're like, but what if they hurt their feelings, though? And I'm just like, this is so... And I was like, it's so compassionate for you to still reflect on, like, even just small acts and worry that someone that you don't know might have taken it badly. And I'm just like, it shows a lot of compassion. So that's why this question, I'm like, I mean, if I had to choose for you, but I'm not going to choose for you.
You can tell me, because you're right. We do have these conversations, and I might not realize something about myself that you pick up on. I'll put like
a small agree.
I'll put a small yes.
Okay, at parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action.
I'm a disagree on this one, because if I am at a party, then like I'm in that mode, and I'm probably going to be the life of the party, or at least try to be. If I know the people, it depends on the party.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably Kylam. There's no reason to scream. I'm gonna put big agree that I'd be found farther away from the action, because I'm usually the type to like when I learned what the word wallflower was, I was like, oh yeah, that's me. I'm like, I want to be up against a surface. I want to be like, always. I don't want to be out in the open to attacks. No, it just makes me feel better to be like in a little space. So yeah,
that makes sense.
You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big, thick agree.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. About how, Kylam, how like it's kind of hard to. It's not that I don't empathize. I understand people's emotions, and like we like agreed on that. It's that sometimes it's like, I don't understand how someone could look at a situation and know that objectively that the way, like, that's like, I don't even know how to explain. Like, when I look back on things, I reflect on them from a logical place, from a, like, trying to be impartial from an objective standpoint, and how people could, like, knowingly, it's like just reflecting from a place of only emotion and not, like, facts. Mm-hmm. Not in a bad way, not in a salty way, in a literal, like, just, I have trouble understanding that because I don't think the same way.
I think about it in a bad way. It annoys me.
Yeah?
No, I mean, a little bit. But only
It depends, yeah.
I think if someone goes hard on the emotions and refuses to look at it in a logical way, and it's all about like what this means and not what actually happened, then that's like frustrating. But but I do get it. Like I'm like, yeah, I get that you felt this and this and this, and you did this and this and this. But it's like, but the facts are this happened.
Yeah. Big agree with like things that have gone down that's just like I've had to react a certain way because of certain circumstances led this to be like I had to, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, and someone could completely recall it differently because they're entirely viewing it from their own emotional standpoint. I'm like, I respect and understand how things felt regardless. It's like, okay, if you're punching me in the shins, you know, you're punching me in the kidney repeatedly, and I can't make you stop no matter how many times I ask. The only way to stop you from punching me in the kidney is to make physical contact and grab your hand. You might be like, I can't believe you would touch my body without asking me and touch my hand without asking me. I'm like, you were punching me in the kidney though. You're like, it's not about that. You touched me without, I'm like, okay, but you were punching me in the kidney though. That's just objectively what was happening. It's like, but that doesn't give you a right to put your hands on me. It's like, but you were punching me in the kidney. Like I don't understand. Like I have so much trouble understanding when someone is sheerly approaching a situation from how they emotionally felt it and not how, like they could know. It's like, no, you're right. I know I punched you in the kidney 47 times, but you still touched my hand and I didn't like that. I'm like, okay. And I'm sorry I touched your hand. However, I would like to hear how else I should have gone about this. How do I stop you from punching me in the kidney? Like I don't understand.
Let's fix this situation because I tried my best.
Yeah, and then there's like, well, it's not about that. It's like, but it is about what factually happened, and that you understand that the emotions were a result of factual events, correct? So I try really, really hard. It's like not to be frustrated. Like I'm trying not to make it sound mean. It's more in a like, I work on this and I work on understanding other mindsets a lot and understanding that not everyone analyzes situations the same way, but just sometimes it could get really frustrating. So all that to say, big agree.
Big agree for me too.
And also like let people who let their emotions guide them also puzzles me when it's just like, I'm going to move to, I don't know, this mountain in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to leave everything I know, everything I love, and I might die on that mountain, but I'm going to move there because my heart calls to there. And I'm like, you're following your heart. Good for you. Do I understand it? Not at all. Not even a little bit. But I'm happy for you. Like but I do have difficulty understanding how someone's like, no, 100% based off of my emotions, I'm going to move to this mountain. I'm like, okay, damn, that's brave. So yeah. Next question. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalog. Yeah,
mine's a big agree. Unless I'm going to watch a specific movie, it's hard. And I'm probably one of the most difficult people to try to watch a movie with because I'm such an asshole about movies.
It depends, because sometimes if it's like, I guess it's kind of the same thing. If it's like, if I know I want to watch this movie, it's like, I am going to this, whether it's a place or a website, it's like, I'm going here specifically for this thing. But if it's just like, what do you want to do? I don't know. I guess let's watch something. I'm like, literally put anything on. I don't care. Probably because I'm not going to pay attention. But so, yeah. But yes, when I don't know what I want to watch, I could spend literally all day just like looking through things and like not settling on anything. And then I end up putting on my left sock and before you know it, what movie?
Then it's next week and you're trying to text someone back. I feel that.
You can stay calm under a lot of pressure.
I can look calm under a lot of pressure.
You're really good at that, yeah. Look totally stoic and just like, I had a dream that my face melted off. I'm like, you okay? You're like, It doesn't show at all. You're just like, I'm vibrating on the inside. I'm like, yeah, no, I get that. Same. I think I'm going to have to be true neutral for this because I'm like, it's really similar the way that we will emotionally respond. Like, I could be totally, my girlfriend cut her hand open. Literally no response on the outside, calm voice. Like almost, it's not that I don't care. Absolutely. On the inside, I'm like really worried. I feel almost like I'm going to throw up, but I'm like, no reaction. Just take care of her. Calm. It's kind of like the same thing as if like I dropped a glass and I'm like, oh, well, I'm going to clean that up now. Same.
It's that it's about that methodical approach to life kind of thing.
Yeah, like I even if I feel like I'm panicking, it's just outwardly I definitely am able to remain calm and still approach things like as logically as possible. Again, it's not I don't act based off of my emotional response, but the emotional response is there. I definitely am easily anxietied.
I'm going to go with big agree, because I thought of an example from my life too, where like someone was in some serious like medical, a very serious medical situation that was like extremely time sensitive, and one way, if it would have gone bad, it would have gone like permanently bad kind of thing. So I remembered that, like me being the person to have to take care of that situation, and then taking care of it, and also like the people around me crying and yelling and running and shit's going wild, and I'm literally there like A, B, C, I gotta get my dogs outside, I gotta call the ambulance here, I gotta do this. Like it was I was very, very calm, and I was very much under a lot of pressure because essentially someone else's life was in my hands at that moment.
It's just the description of calm is so arbitrary because it's like, it's like, I could like that. It's like you could seem calm, but it's like, did you sleep that night?
Right.
Did you eat? Did you have difficulty eating? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of things that aren't calm that are actually just like a trauma response, like a fight or flight response. Like what is it? Autonomic, parasympathetic nervous system. One of your nervous systems. Yeah. Is kicking in. So it's like, no, technically you're not calm, because like if you can't sleep, if you can't eat, if basically those functions have shut down, it's like you're not calm, but you are, because you're, in one way you are, because you're composed and you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. What do you mean by calm? I need more details.
I think in terms of this question, they mean how do you behave under pressure? Okay. So I'm going with big agree, because like I feel like that's
you're
right.
really good. Yeah. I'd like, again, jumped by kids on bikes.
It's funny you bring that up in every episode.
You do, because I'm just like, hey, remember that time? It's so heroic. I'm so like, yeah.
Sweet. I wish you were here for other parts of my life so that you could like hype me up about the other cool shit I do.
It's my favorite thing to do is to hype people up, especially in front of like I don't know, like parents, or like what you get what I'm saying, like the people that's like in front of my girlfriend, in front of like her parents. I'm like, and you know what else she does? I'm just like, hell yeah. I like to cheerlead. It's fun.
I want to kiss ass. No, I'm just kidding, man. You're sweet. You're sweet. That's awesome. It's a good way to be.
Rude. Blocked. When in a group of people you do not know. Okay, that was one sentence, there was no comma. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. Hell no.
No, I need to test the waters for a little bit.
Yeah. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical.
What? I mean, by definition, isn't that what dreams are?
It's hard to, like, sometimes they could just be like, you know, walking through shards of glass because I have like leg pain and I'm sleeping. But sometimes it could be like, I don't know.
I would say that's very bizarre. Going to the what?
I went to VidCon with a whale and Chandler Wilson once in my dream. Yeah.
That's bizarre.
We shared a room with a whole whale. That was the whole dream.
I would subscribe to that channel.
Yeah, I've had some like really bizarre dreams, so I don't know. They don't tend to be, they just sometimes.
When I used to like lucid dream, I would make shit really weird, but that was on purpose. Like I would turn people into cookie dough and eat them, and like just
sorry, what was that?
I changed the shape of rooms, like, you know, just fun stuff, because you know you're dreaming, so you just start doing anything, and then like usually I could get a few cool things in, and then I'd forget I was dreaming, and then shit would start happening, and they'd be like, oh shit, no wait, this is a dream. Stop what you're doing. I missed that part of
Summon Inception. Where they ate people.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm gonna go with.
I'm gonna put like a medium agree for me, because my dreams can be quite bizarre. Like the way I'm thinking about it, I have a friend of mine who tweets a lot about like sex dreams and stuff like that, and I'm like, that hasn't happened to me. So I'm like, do people dream about regular life things? Because my dreams are always usually quite extreme. Sometimes it could just be like cute and quaint, but like usually they are things that wouldn't happen in real life. So I'm gonna put like a medium agree.
I also have found that I don't dream very often anymore as an adult. Like, it's usually I go to sleep and it's nothing but darkness, and then I wake up.
Oh no. Doesn't that mean you're missing part like REM or something?
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a part of your sleep cycle that might something. I think that might be
REM is the one
missing.
that makes dreams because your eyes are moving around and you're seeing like what light there is on the back of your eyelids or something, and your brain is interpreting it, supposedly.
Interesting.
But I don't know. Maybe you can get into REM without. Maybe I just fucking don't sleep well. I need to get Pokemon Sleep. Go watch our last episode.
I was about to say, sponsor us. I was about to say maybe you should get like a watch or something.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go Plus.
Or I could stop doing that thing where I keep myself up until I cannot physically keep my eyes open and then go to sleep.
That might do it. I feel I'm not a sleepetician, but if I were, if that were a thing, yeah, I'd be worried about that. In your opinion, it is sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life. I'm gonna put big disagree, but that's just me.
Of course.
I do understand.
I would like to say big disagree, but I think depending on the person that you're stepping on and what it means to get ahead, because like, you know, I'm thinking like eat the rich. Yeah, let's step on the rich people and like squeeze their money out of them and disperse it. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't think of like if it's a peer and I'm like gonna fuck someone over who is a peer just so that I can gain something from that. I don't like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I'm not trying to shame anyone, because like this mindset, if you think of like Slytherin, for example, it's like one of the characteristics I think is to be like some sort of like opportunist. And like, I understand people who are more competitive by nature, and that this is, you know, oftentimes it's out of control and out of their control. Like I'm not trying to shame people for feeling this way or thinking this way. I'm just, for myself, I've said it a lot. I don't have a competitive nature. I've never understood even like games. I'm not competitive. So I can't understand the mentality. I'm like, you don't have to, like, it's okay to step on others to get ahead in life. My mentality is, but you don't have to. It's entirely unnecessary to step on others to get ahead. But others might disagree with me on that. So I'm like, that's fine. So that's why I'm like big disagree, because I'm like, you could get ahead without stepping on others. That's the ideal.
I find that it's very effective, like you do, to lift others up, and then everyone's ahead.
Exactly. And before anyone gets all up in my comments, defending yourself isn't the same as stepping on others. So just stand up for yourself, folks. That's okay. It's not the same. So, you are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked.
Well, good God. I'm both.
Those two, come on, they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
I could be totally dedicated and focused on my goals, but also get sidetracked. What do you think this podcast is? It's us doing that for an hour.
That's so difficult. I am extremely dedicated and very focused on my goals. That's like what my whole life is about, are the things that I want to do, and everything else that happens in my life is a distraction from those things, is what it usually feels like. I have to work very hard to balance out my work life scale, you know?
Yeah, you're definitely really ambitious, like when it comes to, like, again, projects and stuff like that. Like, you have a lot of ambition and a lot of drive, and you get your goals met. Like, again,
sometimes
we work well together.
Goals met. But if I don't, oftentimes, it's because I'm sidetracked. And so that's why it's...
But then your sidetrack will become something that gets met. You're good at getting stuff done. Like, other projects we've worked together on, like this, but other things, also other things. You're really good at, like, herding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of like 20 sheep, and you're just like herding, and you're like, okay, good. I need these sheep. Otherwise, but we go together. I'm the shepherd. I need sheep. I'm not a shepherd without sheep. So we're a team. And you're just like, bringing things back in. You're really good at the, like, okay, well, we're going to have weekly meetings. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And it's like, we're going to have structure. And I'm like, hell yeah. So, like, you get what I'm saying? It's like,
that's
really
true.
Good at tying things together, like, if that makes sense. So... that's why I'm just like, I think you're good at getting your goals met, but like getting sidetracked isn't always a bad thing, and it doesn't always mean you can't meet your goals.
Yeah, because I read this and I'm like, I think that I'm both all of the things, all of the above.
I usually require a push. Like I have ideas and I have goals, but like I need a push. Almost always. It needs to. I don't know why. It could be an anxiety push. It could be like anything. It's just like a reason to do something, a little like nudge, and then I get it, and then I get it done. So I don't know what to put to this because yes, I'm dedicated and focused on my goals, but I always get sidetracked. Like I'm all sidetracked. Do you mind whichever animal? It's a rat this time, sir. Sorry. I'm gonna put medium disagree.
Oh, I don't think you're all the way down there, man.
I get sidetracked a lot. Okay, I'm gonna put small disagree.
I don't know. I think the very least you should put is neutral, because you're also like a self-starter and you're doing all your things.
Thanks. But like the sidetrack thing, it's like, I have a nonprofit, but it's like of the projects I've wanted to undertake, I've only gotten like 1/6 of what I want to get done, and a lot of the things I do take longer than I would like them to. Yeah, like
that's how everything is for me too. I think that's
yeah.
I don't think these things are mutually exclusive, and I don't know which one to rank it on. Like, should I rank it on how sidetracked I am, or should I rank it on how dedicated to my goals I am?
Yeah, I guess maybe it's about like how often does getting sidetracked stop you from meeting your goals. I think.
I'm going true neutral then.
All right, I'm gonna stick with my small disagree because I'm 25 and only just now got into university because of getting sidetracked. And I should have been in this program in like 2013. Like I've had the same level of education since then. It's just I didn't think I could do it, and and I get sidetracked. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna save for top surgery and work at this job I hate. And anyway, so yeah. I'm going to put like a small disagree because I'm like, it definitely does. I will ultimately get to my goal, but like the sidetracking.
Okay, yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. Next question. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge. Yes. Big. I want to scream that. Yes. For me. I'll reread. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your abilities, or your knowledge. This, I feel, has a lot more to do with self-esteem than character.
That's hard. I feel like I'm usually pretty sound in being confident that I'm, like, if I'm not good at something, I could be good at it if I wanted to. Or, I don't know how to say that. Like, even if I don't think I'm good at something, I'm pretty comforted by the fact that if I tried to be good at it, I could be the best at it. And that's not realistic, but, like, I feel like as I've gotten older, though, I've doubted myself a lot more, and I've had more feelings of failure and more letdowns and stuff. And so now at this age, I'm like, I think that I'm starting to doubt myself, like, in my abilities. And I never had that, so it's hard to say one way or the other.
So when you make a mistake, so let's say if you're trying to do something and you like mess it up, does that error trigger the feelings of self-doubt in your abilities or in your knowledge? Or do you are you okay with making mistakes, and are you like,
and then try again? It's so hard to say, because I like to think that, I mean, it depends on the severity. The only things I can think of are like big picture things, like with short films I've tried to make, and then I didn't make it, and then like I didn't end up going to film school, and like I'm thinking of shit that's like tested a lot of all three of those things, because it was something that was my project entirely, and it required like everything that I knew and the full extent of my abilities. Fuck. I don't reflect very often on this kind of stuff, so I don't know. I'd say that, like, if I am doing something that isn't high stakes, then no, because I'll be like, I'll just fix it. I'll be fine. Or I'll just try again.
The way that I'm personally interpreting and analyzing this question is, let's say when I film, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and if I don't say something just right, I oftentimes will start to fall into this spiral of like you can't. You suck. Like, it's really, I have a lot of issues with like self-deprecation, I guess. Like, I don't have a lot of confidence in myself. So I'm working on that. It's not like fixed in stone, but that is something, especially if I'm going, like, I have trouble editing my videos mostly because I will always find something wrong with my videos. I'll always find something I'm like, I should have done that better. I count a lot of things as mistakes, and those make me doubt myself more. So that's how I'm interpreting this question, that I'm just like, even if it's an art video, I'm just like, why would you, that doesn't make sense with your light source. Why would you put a shadow there? And why is there no highlight here? And then I'm just like, you suck. So again, working on it. But some people will be able to make mistakes and be like, oh, I'm glad I caught that. That means that next time it'll be better. Like, so it's that simple for a lot of folks. It's just like, oh, well, now I know to say that differently, or I know how to do that differently, or it's just like, I learned from that. Like, it doesn't make them, it's like, I am not, because even if I make a mistake drawing, that doesn't, like, I'm not a worse artist because this didn't turn out just right. I'm a growing artist. It doesn't, if you make one really great thing and one really terrible thing, the terrible thing doesn't make the great thing less great. So, like, I understand that mindset as well. It's just when it comes to, like, an emotional place, I haven't gotten there yet. But, working on it.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to hold us up forever on this one. If you make a mistake.
I don't mind.
I feel like it depends on what aspect we're talking about. Like, if it's a motor skill, I feel like I'm very capable. If it's something like physical or some, if I tried to ride a unicycle, I think that I'd be very good at that, even though I've fallen down a million times on a skateboard, Okay.
See, that's where like, I could skateboard and I'm good. If I fall once, I'm going to shake looking at my skateboard. Like, I'm really bad at picking myself up when I fall. I make a mistake and I'm just like, you shouldn't skateboard. You're not good at it. I'm working on it. Again, it's not to be like, I don't want to be like, oh no, poor me. It's just, it's a mentality that I have that I know. So it's like, that's a good thing to ask yourself. So if you're able to skateboard and fall and be like, oh, I'm going to try that again, but you don't automatically think like, I can't do it because I fell. Two different mindsets. So
okay, I'm gonna go medium agree, because like there still was that one time when I basically like tried really hard to make a film and then plans fell through that like weren't really my fault and I didn't get to make it, so then I just didn't make any film related thing until literally last year.
Oh no. Wait, are you putting so if you make a mistake you tend to doubt yourself, are you putting yes you tend to doubt yourself?
I'm doing medium disagree.
Okay, because I wasn't sure which. Okay.
No, cool. I'm glad you caught that, because I was thinking of it the opposite way.
Yeah, because I was like, your explanation is counter your answer that you just. Okay, cool. All right, next. When you're at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. I'm going to put a medium agree for myself.
It depends, because if the social event involves drinking, then I'm going to be very friendly with everyone. Or at least I'm going to try to. I'm gonna put, but if it's one that it's like we're all just hanging out, it's hard to say. I'm putting true neutral.
You've been very friendly from what, like, okay, sometimes people meet me and think I'm rude because I don't introduce myself, but it's mostly because I don't know when it would be not awkward. When it's like, do I wait for silence? There's never silence. Do I just hi, I'm Aaron. Like, I don't understand. I haven't observed it yet, so I do try to watch others do it. And so I come across as unfriendly, but it's mostly because I don't know, I don't get it. You are good at being friendly, but I've mostly, in this context, I've only ever seen you interact with like followers, and again, that's a whole different interaction, because you know for a fact when you're going to a party, people aren't going there to meet you.
Right.
When you're meeting people like in Philly, people are going there to meet you, so of course you're going to like, hi, I'm Ty. What's your name? So
yes. So I like to approach those situations like this is already my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should do that in other social situations. Just pretend like everyone's my friend. I'm gonna stick with true neutral.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, it's really tough because like I mean I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know. Excuse me. Sorry. You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical. Nah. I love when it gets philosophical, so that's a big disagree. You would never let yourself cry in front of others.
That's a disagree. I'm going to do I'll do a small disagree because like I try to not. I have this thing where if I'm watching a really cool movie, if there's like a particularly interesting shot, I'll tear up a little bit. And
yes,
I do my best to not let anyone see when that happens because like I don't want to be fucking crying watching Aladdin.
Yes, oh my god.
It doesn't mean that much to me. It's just how my body responds.
I could reach through this screen right now and just like I don't. Okay, I've tried to explain this to people so many times. I'm like, it doesn't have to be sad, and it's not exactly that it's inspirational. It's just just kind of beautiful. Like this happens when I watch Avatar, the Earthbenders and bend the coal on the ship for the first time after being captured for so long. And it's not even like I'm explaining it emotionally because that's how I feel, but it's not emotional. They're literally just bending coal. But I get all misty eyed and I'm like, why? Or like Harry Potter, like not even like, yeah, there are sad scenes with his parents and stuff, but it's like, no, it's when the Order of the Phoenix walks in through the doors behind Harry when he's confronting Snape and being like, like, how dare you stand where he stood? And they all walk in together and it's this like swell of like just community and support. And it's like, it's not emotional though. But here I am about to cry for no goddamn reason. Mm-hmm. It's just cinematically really beautiful and just, I don't know, a powerful moment.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
But if it's something that is emotional and it like makes sense for me to cry, I really don't care if other people see me crying. But when I cry over stuff that nobody like, it just isn't necessary, I'd hide it. So I'm gonna go small disagree.
I hide it like a lot. So I'm like either medium or big disagree. I try to like pretend like, oh, I'm allergic to oxygen. Okay, next question. You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than the more quiet and intimate ones. Not really. I like being in the city. I wouldn't want to live in the suburbs, but I don't want like bustling. Like I'll find a quiet place in the city. So medium disagree or like big disagree. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a medium agree because sometimes I don't like it because it's usually depressing because of climate change.
Yeah, I don't like dystopian stuff, but otherwise, it's fun. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. No, I don't at all.
Big D.
Yeah, give him that big D. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience. No, of course not.
Experience. What does that mean? Like you can't is that like quantum physics and stuff, or are they meaning like religion, or maybe both?
Like, let's say,
or I mean, like theoretical physics. Something that like
studying dark matter would be what comes to mind for me, because a lot of the universe is made up of dark matter, but we cannot, like, other than theoretically and like through basically the power of deduction, we cannot experience it or even like wouldn't know of its existence if it weren't for like literally filling out the other stuff and being like, oh, there's this thing. I think it's fascinating, so of course I could dedicate my life to studying that. I think it's even more interesting because you're like, well, then what is it? So me talking about senses that we don't have, for example, like I would love to talk about like, hey, what about all this other stuff we might not be experiencing just because we don't have the sensory organs to perceive them? Like I love shit like that. It's like you can't experience it, but you could discuss the possibility of its existence.
You cannot imagine. I'm gonna go small agree because I feel like I would never be able to not think about that stuff. Like if it's more of like a thought experiment, and that was also my work, was to think about something, because I mean a big part of my work is to depends on what kind of project I'm doing, but a lot of my work is a lot of like coming up with stuff and connecting that stuff, and what does this mean and what does that mean and what if this and how would that affect this. Like that is the most fun, but also the most taxing part about like making certain projects. Like when I'm thinking of YouTuber life, it was so cool. Like it's like solving a puzzle. But then I still get to see, touch, and experience the final product, and that's when it all feels really good. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go small. Agree.
okay, fair. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive.
I think that I consider getting revenge for a long time and it's comforting, but then I never act on it and eventually forgive.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's more like it's okay to feel that situations are unjust, but I would not find any sort of comfort in revenge. You get what I'm saying? But it's also like, you're not obligated to, like, it's like being like, you think that Honey Nut Cheerios are good, but you also think that people could eat chicken nuggets. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. So you prefer to get your revenge than forgive. It's like, I don't want to get revenge on anyone, but I also don't think that people are obligated to forgive. You could heal you could literally be like, that was fucked and I don't forgive you for it, but I'm going to heal anyway. Like, that's okay. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, it's a weird question. I'm like, what if none? What if just neither of those?
Yeah, I totally
it's almost
agree
as
with
if
that.
Yeah, it's almost as if there are only two ways to get closure. It's like either get revenge or forgive. And it's like, no, you could also just move past. Like, you could just like heal.
Accept it and move on.
Yeah, just heal and be like, it's not about you or thinking about you or forgiving you. This is about me feeling better. Bye. And like, that's okay. That's all right. So I guess, I'm like, I feel like I should put a small disagree, because it's like that. If I put big disagree, does that mean that I'm just like forgive? But I don't know. It's just an overall disagree. So yeah,
I'm doing true neutral.
I'm good.
I think I'm in there somewhere.
You often make decisions on a whim.
I think I would hella disagree with this, but in real life, I actually kind of do. But kind of because I'm in like a fast nature, like the nature of what I do is kind of fast paced. So I have to like be like, okay, yeah, I'll go do this. Like, oh yeah, I'll fly out here. I'll do this.
Exactly. It's like, in theory, it's like, no, theoretically, I would love to sit down and weigh all the options. But it's like, actually, it's like, I do things on a whim all the time because, like you said, it's the nature of like, oh, I'm going to release this. But then, like, I don't know, something happens and I really think it's important to discuss that thing. It's like, well, I'm going to change. I'm going to make something, edit it, and release it for tomorrow. It's like, that could happen. Yeah. But even when it comes to, I'm like, no, I like to think things over. But then it's like, flash forward to like, if I had money for a tattoo, it's just like, sure, tattoo me tomorrow. So often make a decision on a whim. No, sometimes I can put a small agree. Little agree.
Yeah.
The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and satisfying than the time you spend with other people.
Shit. Often, yeah. I'm medium agree on this. It's not always, but...
It's not always more interesting or satisfying, but more restful. Absolutely. It could actually it could be more interesting. Yeah, I could like really like I can't read around other people, or I can't watch like science videos. I'm going to annoy the shit out of everyone. So I'm like, but then sometimes I've also had like the most interesting experiences with others. So it's,
yeah,
small agree, little agree. Actually, medium agree. Okay. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or message of a song or movie.
Oh, fuck.
Tie.
The biggest agree. Give me that thick A.
Yep. I'm gonna put a medium agree for myself. It depends.
Yeah.
And then if you weigh it versus the literally inserts the year of the movie version of it, I'm like, why did I need to? Versus the 19-something it, I'm like, what?
Well, I think it was 94, or was it 90? It's
like
either 90
word
or
for
94.
word. We were walking out of the theater,
1990,
and you were like, yeah, like we're walking out of the theater, and you were just like, yeah, and then like if you compare that to the 1990 version, starring all these people, I'm like, okay, cool. All right, like, I never watched it.
Tight.
Cool. It was interesting though, but I was just like, that's a lot of information.
That time in the hotel room, whenever you and Karina were so nice enough to indulge me as I explained to you like the most recent thing I learned watching Donnie Darko, or like the most recent thing that I found out, and it was like a 10-minute explanation, and you guys are like, "Wow, Ty, great."
I really did enjoy it. I felt so like I'm that. Usually I want to find deeper meaning in things, but Donnie Darko was one of those, I think because it had been so already plastered on like Tumblr and stuff that I was like, I don't want to like this. So forget this. And also I had just come out of an art program and I'm like, artists are just so, like I had my own jaded bullshit. But I was like, I loved hearing you talk about it. I'm like, I wish I could watch Donnie Darko with a Ty Turner voiceover. That would be interesting.
That's awesome.
Do all the work for me.
Ooh, I would totally do that.
Yeah. Start a series like make me love this video, Ty. Like make me love this movie.
Cool, yeah. Because like literally, I was telling you guys that every time that I watch the movie, like I figure something new out about it, or I catch something that I missed the first time. And I think a lot of people hate the movie because of literally that, because it takes like you can't get it all from one watch. You can't even really know what it's about from one watch. I didn't know the true. Like you get the gist and then you get a little more of the gist and then you're like, oh shit. And then by like, when you really dive deep, you're like, holy crap. Like everything is connected. Everything is everything. It's all great. I love it. I love Donnie Darko.
I would love to have you just, do it. Put Donnie Darko on and then like voice over and be like, and this is that. And you're like, oh shit.
Oh fuck.
I want the explanations there.
Mm-hmm.
You always know exactly what you want.
Oh my God.
No. I mean, like partially kind of like I'm stubborn, but I'm like, I don't know what I want.
Yeah. I'm thinking medium disagree. Well, that's hard because I do usually, it depends on the situation. I'm like, if I think of it like in terms of life, or if I think of it in terms of like a day-to-day, I'm going into this thing, doing it what I want. Absolutely, or else I won't be doing it. But
yeah. When it comes to projects, usually like at least things that I'm like initiating myself and stuff, like I'm able to follow instructions and cooperate with others. But sometimes it's like when you have a vision and like I'm that person, like, could I do this project? Could I do this group project alone? Because like I know exactly what I want to do and I don't want to compromise. So like when it comes to like certain passion projects, I'm like, no, I know exactly what I want. Don't touch. But when it comes to like life, I'm like, I don't know.
Well, I do also have a pretty rough draft of like the plan for the foreseeable future of my life. So I think I'm actually going to lean towards Like immediately I was like, no, I don't know what I want. But the more I think about it, no, I'm pretty sure in most circumstances, I do know what I want. A small yes.
What stumps me is the always and exactly. Like you always know exactly what I'm like, I often know what I think I want. So I'm gonna put a medium disagree.
I often know what I think I want. Sometimes I don't even know what I think that I want.
You rarely think back on choices you made. Didn't they just ask this? You rarely think back on choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently.
Oh, the other one was about regrets. This one is about pondering like different moves. This one I'm going to strong disagree. I'm going to strong disagree because I feel like everything is like there's a strategy to do things well, and I'm always trying to find the strategy. Sometimes my brain feels like a loop. Like when I was young, my mom would always tell me like, quote unquote, it's problematic. It was like, stop thinking like, no, what was it? Stopping crazy? Like stopping all crazy about it. Like, but that's how like if I got stuck on something, it would be like, it's over and over and over. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, but it's true. You're trying to, it's like you're trying to work through a code or solve a puzzle. It's exactly that. It's kind of like when you're playing chess, you're like, finding strategy. It's by going through it in your head. It's like trying to make sense of it. So yes.
When in a public place, you usually stick to quieter and less crowded areas. I feel like we answered this. I'm gonna go with agree. I big agree with that.
The big A. I feel like I'm neutral on that one because it's like a public place. I think of the mall, and when I'm at the mall, I usually will just like go sit down and wait for everyone else to be done shopping because I don't really like to shop. But like if it's somewhere that I want to be, and the crowd is like fun, like if I'm at a concert, I'm going to go down right to the middle in the center of the stage.
Yeah, no, I'm the opposite. Like even if I go to a bar or something, I'll usually like the only bar or club I used to be able to tolerate was the one like queer one that like super gay club called I forgot.
That honestly
Unity.
sounds like a good name for a gay club. Oh shit, I
I think it was
forgot.
called Unity. Anyway, it was 2 floors, and I would always be like on the top floor because it was less crowded. Or if there's a balcony, you're gonna find me there. Like anywhere. The only reason I used to smoke, don't smoke, it's bad for you, would be to get away from situations and to go somewhere quiet. So yeah, I'm gonna go with like big agree. Even if I love a band, I'm like I really don't want to be crowded. You tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities.
No, I'm disagreeing with that.
I have trouble staying grounded, and my future possibilities are usually like anxiety and sometimes fantasizing like, wow, wouldn't that be great? But usually it's more like, ooh, what if all of this happens?
No.
So instead, present rather than wait. So if you tend to, okay. Sometimes I'm like, wait, which way am I agreeing?
Right. Oh wait,
Okay.
which is it?
Yeah, if you tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities, I disagree with that.
Right.
Because I don't focus. I have trouble focusing on present.
Yeah, I
and I'm
focus more
usually
on
stuck
future.
in. Yeah.
Okay.
You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings.
Well, yes. But I mean, I get it, but I just don't.
I don't think I have a hard time understanding, more as I have a difficult time agreeing with the actions taken based off of reacting.
Yeah.
You could feel jealousy, bitterness, resentment. You could feel a lot of negative emotions, but it's not, and it's okay. You're allowed to feel all the feelings. Acting on certain emotions is something that I don't. So like I understand emotions. I don't agree with hurting others and stuff like that. Like it's more like I understand why you felt this way and why you like I don't understand why you did this. It's not necessary to hurt people, but I understand why you felt the way that led you to do that. You get this get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't think I have a hard time understanding other people's feelings, because even like really shitty people or when I say really shitty people, I mean people I don't know, but like even when it comes to people in my life, if people hurt me, it's like I understand feelings, but it doesn't change things. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I have to write down a time code because I screwed some shit up.
Oh,
but we're still going. I moved my video, and then I was like, oh, wait. Sorry, Aaron. You're going to have to account for that in editing later.
That's
so
right,
I
as
don't
long as you send me
clip
the
my head off. Yeah.
time. You often, yeah. I don't think I have a hard time. I'm going to put like medium disagree, because I'm like, I don't think I have a hard time understanding other people's feelings, but I do also acknowledge that maybe that in and of itself is me having a hard time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, I don't think I always understand other people's feelings. Sometimes I literally just said at the beginning, I am baffled by it. But it's hard. It's hard to...
That makes sense. I'm going with neutral on that one, because sometimes I really don't understand what people are feeling. No. I'm going to go small disagree, because I usually get it. Like, I get it.
Yeah. I get it. It's like, I get it. I just don't agree. And I get what you're feeling. I don't understand how someone feels one way, and I'm like, okay, well, cool. Here are all these facts. Does this help? And it's like, no. I'm like, but they're facts. So I'm like, why doesn't this help? So that's why I'm like, technically, yeah, that probably means I'm not understanding their feelings, but I do understand their feelings. I don't understand how sometimes,
like, how to interact with that.
Yeah, how to approach that. That's where the difficulty comes in, where we could both feel like I could feel sad, this other person could feel sad, but to get to the resolution isn't always the same path, and that's where I get lost.
Yeah, I'm going small disagree.
Yeah. When starting to work on a project, you prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible. No. Well, it depends. How committed do you have to be to I'm really bad with commitment. So I don't like to absolutely, I'm going to this right here, right now. I'm like, no, I'm really bad at committing because of, what if I can't?
Yeah.
But when it comes to managing anxiety, for example, okay, I'm going to use my apartment. I'm moving. I have a bookshelf that I'm going to mount on the wall. It's like so it frees up floor space. I don't know which wall I want it on. I'm debating between two walls. I almost wish I could pick both and neither, because I don't want to commit to one and then have it be the wrong decision. But at the same time, I just want to literally throw it, staple gun it to the wall and just have it be done. Like I want everything done in one day so I never have to deal with it again. But I also don't want to pick. So I don't know. True neutral.
Yeah, that sounds pretty neutral. I feel like if I'm starting a project that is like, so when I think of it in terms of like if I'm going to make a video or something that's like even a bigger video project where there's a lot of moving parts, the best thing to do is to have everything planned to a T. And there's a whole phase of pre-production where you basically plan the rest of everything that you're going to do. So I'm thinking of in terms of that, then it's definitely a yes. But I don't know if that applies to other parts of my life that don't necessarily require that to be successful. Like if I'm starting to work on a project, because even like with Fit to Me, there was a lot of decisions made in the beginning, but it's a business and you have to have a strategy and like know what you're doing. I'm gonna do a small agree.
I would put you with a small agree, because that's like you were very good at decision making even when it came to the podcast, even naming the podcast. I'm like, here's 47 pages of names. And you're like, what about my favorite podcast? I'm like, shit, that's catchy. And then like, and you know what else? What if we name every episode My Something Podcast? And I'm like, oh man, that's fucking brilliant. But that's planning ahead. That's making decisions. That's making commitments. And every time I'm like, oh no, but what if that means we have to do that forever? But I'm like, it'll be fine. It'll be okay. So I'm like, I'd put you on the agree side, because I'm like, yeah, you're good at that and it works out well. I'm kind of frigid, so I'm going to put myself at a small disagree, because that made me realize like, it's something I need to work on more, because I have to learn to commit. It's a good quality.
Okay, I wasn't getting, so it's about more like commitment than it is about like planning, because I was kind of conflating those two a little bit and getting a little bit lost with how to interpret it. I think I actually probably would be a medium agree. Yeah.
I don't know if that makes me a medium disagree. I'm always like really afraid. Even when I knew I was trans. I knew I wanted to take T, but I'm like, I don't want to commit. I knew I was trans and I was on T and I had top surgery. I didn't want to commit. I have to change my name. I'm like, it's a lot. It's a lot of commitment. I'm like, but I know that. But why commitment? I don't know. So, yeah. But when it comes to a project, I'm like, yeah, okay. I like making decisions to get anxiety out of the way, but I'm definitely hard. It's not easy for me, so I'm going to put medium, small disagree.
Here we go. There's your answer, man. There it is. Just kidding.
When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will be before they become disappointed in you. Wow. Just fucking drive to my house and at me next time. From within my salad, you have called me out.
Within my salad. Not even in front of it.
My rats and my cat. Wow.
They're fine.
When someone thinks highly of me, I'm like, what's it going to be? When is it? You disappointed yet? Oh, I'll get it out of the way.
That's how I feel every day that we interact about the podcast, because I'm like, oh fuck, I didn't do this. Oh fuck, I can't do this week. Oh fuck, and that's how I missed the time. Every time we podcast, I'm like, that was fun, and then I hang up and I'm just like, I wonder when Ty will no longer want to podcast with me. It's like floats into space. So I'm like, funny. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm just like, oh yeah, that was great. We did super well, and just like, I wonder when he will be disappointed in my efforts. And so I just like float into the abyss. I know that it's irrational thinking. That's why I don't really pay much mind. Why are you out of focus? Please focus. Okay. But yeah, no, I feel like that it's an intrusive thought. It's not even like a conscious thought. Mm-hmm. Like my girlfriend, I love you so much. She walks out the door. I'm like, I wonder when she will stop loving me. Oh man. Yeah, I'm a medium agree there.
You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation? No.
I'm a big agree on that, because if I find someone interesting, it's for a reason that I can definitely talk to them about.
I'm putting a small disagree, because I did walk up to Aaron Hansen And we do occasionally interact, and it's always really pleasant and fantastic. The guy who started Game Grumps.
Wow.
So I gathered the courage to do that, and, I was, very composed and all that. But it was a big deal for me. Like, it wasn't easy, but I'll do it. So
There you go.
yeah. You often... Hang on, wait. Am I able to go back? Because I think I put the... when you put it on the wrong... If I go back and it erases all my answers, I might cry.
Oh, no.
Are you able to backspace on this?
I don't see that option.
All right. Well, it is whatever it was.
I think...
sometimes you put it on the wrong... yeah, I don't know what side I put it on. It'll be fine. You often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios.
Oh, yeah. That's me. I will get to the point where, like... Oh, I can't remember who saw me. Oh, my mom. She thought I was doing it because I knew she was in the room, but I didn't know she was in the room. And I will literally start like miming conversations, or like it gets to the point where like I'm doing something else entirely in my head.
Yeah. Yes. All the time. Yeah. Yeah. That's like I'll check, make sure nobody's home. I'm just like, yeah. You look after yourself first, and others come in second. I wish I did. I'm working on prioritizing myself more. It is not a bad thing to prioritize your needs so that you could be whole for the people you want to help.
Yeah.
However, I do have trouble with that.
That is the hardest thing. I am going to big disagree, because I'm constantly really, and I don't think about it until afterwards, but I like will put myself in situations or will be asked to do something that seriously puts me out and makes things super difficult on me, but I do it anyways because I don't like letting people down, or if I can possibly, I used to call it, I have like this Batman complex where like if I think I could possibly help someone, it is now my duty and my responsibility to help them no matter what.
Yeah.
Like there have been times where one time I was in a fight with Christy, and she left the house, and it was like the middle of the night, and it was storming. So I was driving around trying to find her, and I found a stray dog, and I called animal control, and they said they were going to come or something, to the extent of like, I had to call a few different numbers to actually get someone who could do it at that time. And then it still took them like 3 hours. So I sat out in a storm for 3 hours with a stray dog, and I was like, well, this is my life now. And like, then while simultaneously also trying to like be diffusing a fight with Christy.
I remember like before I knew you, I like how I recognized you was from a video where you had spent all your top surgery money on helping a dog.
That was a different dog. But
yeah, so I'm like, no, you definitely have a Batman complex 100. Like, it's not a bad thing, but I'm like, 100% you are like superhero tier, like helping others, put yourself entirely out because you're like, because I know that I can. That's where it's a good and bad thing, because it's, let's say, okay, on a simpler level, if it's like, well, are you busy? And it's like, yeah, of course you're busy.
Always busy.
Really, really busy. But then it's like, technically at some time I will wake up and open my eyes. And as of the moment my eyes are open, am I busy? No. Let's say like, okay, it'll take me an hour to get ready. It's like, okay, well, if I cut the time to get ready to 10 minutes, then I have 50 minutes to help this person. Or like, what about between here? Like, technically, yes, you could find an hour in the day, but you shouldn't have to drain yourself of absolutely, deplete yourself of everything you have, just because, yes, technically, there will always be a reason why you can say yes to everything, but it will leave you empty. It'll leave you drained. It's not always a good idea. It's not healthy. But you're the type of person that has trouble saying no, I'm guessing.
Right, yeah.
If you know it's, let's say, okay, you had top surgery money. So you're like, I don't have the money to help this dog. But then you're like, technically, somewhere in the world, I do have money. So I can help this dog. So I will help this dog. I get that. It's never been the stray dog. We don't have stray dogs here, but it's like my rat, where it's like I take them to the vet, and it's like, well, we could save this rat that'll live 2 or 3 years, but it'll cost $1,500. I'm like, put it on my credit card. Yeah. Why? Because if there is a possibility to save this, you get what I'm saying? It's like, yes, it will absolutely put me out of my way. It's really difficult, but it's like, I know that I can, and I have difficulty not jumping on that. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
On choosing not to. It's really hard. Even when choosing not to would be the wiser idea, the self-preserving idea, it's hard. It's almost like, you know, my vet looked at me like I was nuts. I'm like, well, then next time don't tell me that this is an option, because I'm not going to, you think I could live with myself knowing that I let that rat die? So
Right.
it's like, yeah. Anyway, I feel, I think.
Big D.
Yeah, big D. Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment.
This is a hard one for me.
We're like only like 75% through these questions. We're like 2 hours into a podcast. We're like, look, this is harder than we thought.
This is difficult. I love sticking to a routine. So the thing for me is, because I know how I am and how hard it is for me to do that, and how much it takes to stick to a plan, I will only plan something if I am like, I'll only plan my day if I'm like at 100% and I know that I can do it. Otherwise, I'll end up not doing it and then feeling like shit about it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know where that falls on this scale, though. Even if I don't, like, if I have something to do and I don't end up doing the thing that I know I need to do, it's like, I feel like, same. I don't end up doing what I wanted to do, but I don't end up doing what needed to get done. I end up spending the day beating myself up over not doing what needs to get done and trying to find ways to get myself to do it, but it's just, yeah.
I'm gonna go with neutral on that one.
Yeah. I can go with a small disagree because I don't end up doing what I want at any given moment. Your mood can change very quickly.
I mean, depends on the severity of, if something bad enough happened, it could put me in a bad mood quickly.
I would, if I weighed in on you, I would not say that your mood can change very quickly. I think that it's like anyone would have a drastic mood change if something big, very difficult happens. But when it comes to, like, remember before we're talking about like emotional regulation, and for some people some small action is like, okay, well that sucked, but you move on, and some people will really stay fixed on it and can't regulate their emotions, or will have a big response to, even though it's small, even if they know it's, you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I would not say that your mood changes very quickly, because I think that you're pretty good at emotional regulation.
Okay.
I think that for myself too. I think that I'm pretty good at emotionally regulating. It's pretty hard to put me in a bad mood when I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, and I never see you like, you don't fluctuate a lot. You're pretty chill.
Yeah,
Big
that's
D.
why I'm kind of like, meh, big D. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. Oh yeah, all the time. Existential crises every day.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I feel like I have my answer, and so then whenever I do it, it's just like a bummer. But it's like it's fun to be like, what if? I don't know.
I started to think about it because I'm like, the universe never ends. Like, literally think about that. Like, it just keeps, it's infinite. There are no walls. When you try to think of the outside of something, it just keeps going forever and ever and ever and ever. And that blows my mind. Then, like, how are we here? And it's this whole thing where you're like, why is there life? Why is there a universe? What? It's like, it's not contained in anything. It's just, the more I think about space and life, the more I'm like, what the hell? And I just have to stop because I'm like, I can't sleep.
Yeah, I'll do that a lot too, where I'll think about, like, if I'm walking, I was walking on rocks when I was camping this last weekend, and there are like these slippery rocks by the river, and like noticing like the articulation in my ankles and being like, what an amazing thing to have. And then I'm thinking about every other thing that works together within my body and how that came to be, literally just from years of like these creatures existing and adapt. So I would say yes, actually.
Yeah, and then it's like, and why? Like, and why is there life? Yeah. It's not even. It's like, it's just okay. Yeah, we evolved, we adapted to stay alive. Every goal of everything is to live, to be. But why is there this? And then if there wasn't life, what is nothingness? Where would that even be contained? What the fuck is happening? So it's just, it's so weird to think about life.
Yeah. Medium agree.
Let's have an existential crisis podcast.
No shit. I'm like, let's stop before we don't end up being able to finish this quiz before this becomes like a 3-part podcast.
You often talk about your own feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I do a lot, even if it's really analytically. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretching several years in the future. Yes, I do. I'm going to university, so technically.
I'm going to go medium agree on that. Because it's like, yes, I know what I want to do, but detailed plans are hard to make when there's a lot of variables. And there's
That's
a lot
fair,
of variables in my line.
You rarely dwell on your regrets.
I'm neutral on that one.
Yeah, I don't dwell on them. I definitely reflect on them. They might hurt, but I don't like obsess. Mostly because I don't have a whole lot that I regret. Being young, there's a lot of being like, I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. Yes,
there
very
it
much
is.
so.
Big A.
You
Cut
see yourself
to us at the conference taking a 2-hour walk in the middle of the day.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even vape. Just take me to the vape shop. It's fine. We're good. You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. You can be both.
Yeah.
Right? A realistic visionary.
I'd say I lean more realistic. I tend to have big dreams, but then I need like a solid yes to be able to. I mean, not necessarily a solid yes, but it needs to be very likely for me to be like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a medium.
Yeah. You find it easy to empathize with you find it easy to empathize with a person who has gone through something you never have.
I mean, I just relate it to something that I have gone to, and then I understand it.
Yeah, or like even just like fundamentally understanding that I will never understand is its own level of empathy. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? It's like, I'll never understand certain types of oppression because I, like, no matter what, I will never experience it, so I will never understand. So to some point, there will be an amount of empathy that, like, I will be empathetic, but from a first-hand experience, no, that's not physically possible.
Right.
But I do also empathize in the sense that I understand that I won't understand. So I do find it easy to empathize with a person who we haven't had the same experience. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to go small yes on that one.
That's kind of like, to bring it kind of to the trans community, like, you need to have dysphoria to be trans. It's like, or maybe others might experience things different from you. That's okay. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, I won't understand what it's like to be trans without dysphoria. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So I'm like, yeah, no, I think I could empathize with others even if I haven't experienced something. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy and organized, consistent efforts. Can it be both? Yeah.
I'm a big A.
Yeah, it's spontaneous bursts of energy scrambling to follow some sort of organized, consistent effort.
Mm-hmm.
Your emotions control you more than you control them. No.
Big D on that part.
Yeah, no. Well, there's PTSD. I'll make myself a medium disagree because I'm like, I don't get to control that shit. Mm-hmm. Sorry, my stomach is speaking. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. No, not for me.
Sometimes, like, I can relate that to last weekend where I went camping and like drank the whole time and just hung out, and that in my mind would be like a fun party, but that was also equally exhausting and took me like 2 days to recoup from. And I think that is not necessarily what recharges me, but it is something that is like a fun alternative to recharging, but it also requires recharging. I'm going to go with neutral.
Yeah, that's fair. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancements could change everyday life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. Yes. Too much sometimes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with like a medium agree. No,
Being like,
I feel like I'm probably actually a strong agree. I really do think about that a lot. I probably won't do something if I think that if I know something could affect someone else, I will think about how it does and then decide whether or not to do it based on that.
yeah, exactly. Like even to the point of like transitioning where it's like, but this is how this will impact others. Like you still honor the commitments you have made even if you have a change of heart. Not necessarily, no. This is why I'm bad at commitment, because if I have a change of heart, it's for a very logical, researched reason. So this is why I have trouble committing, because I have to be super, super sure.
I'm trying to think of an example from my life to be able to like make a decision on this. You still honor the commitments you've made even if you have a change of heart.
I could think of a pretty concrete example, but not one that I would put like on the podcast. But let me try and hypothetically present it.
Is it about dating?
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's say it's...
Oh, is it about a project that we worked on?
Yes.
With other people?
Yes.
Okay.
But like taking that out of context, let's say if you were to let's say you're fit to me, you have shirts, you're going to manufacture them with this company, you sign a contract, you're going to work with that company, but then you find out that, I don't know, they have underpaid workers, or like they're into like child slavery and stuff like that. You committed to them, but you've had a change of heart. It's like, what do you honor more, the commitment that you've made or the change of heart that you've had? You know, so like your current judgment or your commitment. Okay. I'm like a strong disagree, because I'm like, no, my change of heart is what, like, commitment or not, if I'm having a change of heart, I trust my judgment, and it must be for a good reason, you know? So
yeah.
I rarely feel insecure. Disagree. I'm always insecure. Oh, I got my result.
I'm going to be neutral, I think. Oh, shit. I don't know if I'm rarely insecure. I'm going to do a small agree. Usually I feel all right. All right. What'd you get?
I think I got a different result from the first time. The first time I got the scientist with the purple hair. It's a similar... I got INFP-T.
Ooh.
But last time I remember what I had last time. I could, hang on, open it in a new tab. I just remember because the illustrations. It's a very good idea for them to include in illustrations. Like, good for them.
Yeah.
Personality types. Last time I was... Okay, so this time I'm the mediator. The first time I took this test, I was the first like 2 or 3 times I took this test, because I've done it, I was the logician. So definition for the logician, like the short one, is innovative inventors with an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. And the definition for the one that we have now, okay, so that was when I fell under analyst. This one falls under diplomats, and the definition, the short one, is poetic, kind, and altruistic people, always eager to help with a good cause. I feel like I'm both if you smash them together.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, because that means it's literally probably one response difference. And it could be the one response that I was like, ooh, I can't go back and fix that now. So that's because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I answered these probably exactly the same. So I'm like, I'm probably on the fence between the two. That's really interesting.
You know what? I wonder if us discussing them together possibly skewed our results, because I'm also the mediator personality type, INFP-A/INFP-T.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Or maybe we would have got it. I wonder what it would have been like if we had taken it apart, seen what we got, and then taken it together and see what we got. Yeah,
because there's who you think you are, and then who others perceive you to be. Mm-hmm. And it's not that one is more right than the other. They're just sometimes different. Like sometimes we think higher of ourselves. Sometimes we don't think as highly of ourselves. So it's like, I think that maybe the result we got together is more accurate, because it's an equal sort of... You know what I'm saying? You get another person's input.
Yeah.
For the times that you're like, no. They're like, oh, maybe.
Oh, wait, yeah. What are your percentages?
So my... Oh, where did it go? Oh, good. I lost it. Okay, it's back. I'm like, just murder me. Okay. My mind percentage, this trait determines how we interact with our environment, is 86% introverted.
Wait, where the fuck are you reading that from? Oh.
I thought that you asked for my percentages.
That is. Yours says it. Yours says mind. Mine doesn't say mind. It just says introverted, extroverted.
Oh.
Where am I? Oh, fuck. Oh.
It's okay, go forward one more page. Yeah. I did the same thing.
It took me to the blank test and I just saw my life flash before my fucking eyes. Okay, I see where it says mind now.
Yeah. So it's your percentage for mind.
Mind is 54% introverted, 46% extroverted.
Interesting. Yeah, I see it. Energy, this trait shows where we direct our mental energy. Mine is... Oh, that can't be correct.
That's how I feel too.
What?
Sorry. That's how I feel too. Mine seems very wrong.
Yeah, mine's like 76% intuitive, 24% observant. I'm like, that's literally incorrect though. So I'm like, this is where I think I might have misanswered. There were a lot of times that I was just like, okay, absolutely. So then instead of putting strong disagree, I put strong agree, but it's because I I agree with strongly disagreeing. So I'm like, I think we might have done that a couple of times because I'm like,
Yeah, because I'm 71% intuitive and I feel like, well, that could be true about me. I don't know. This test is supposed to tell me.
But even just in that response, that's the answer. It's like, I might be 71% intuitive. I don't know. I need more facts to base myself off of. Like, we're entirely observant people. So I'm like, no, I think we might have, and it might be my fault. I was reading the question, so I'd be like, yeah, no, I totally disagree with that. So I'm going to put strong agree. And I did that a couple of times. I'm like, no, it's totally not that. So that means it should be agree. But I put, so that's.
That could have happened.
Yeah, no, that's my big bad.
Let's start over.
Nature. This trait determines how we make decisions and cope with emotions.
Oh, God. We must have really fucked this up because mine's 53% feeling and 47%
and 29% thinking. I'm like, okay, no. We discussed our answers and we discussed what we were going to put, but I know we put the opposite. And that also makes sense as to why I got the other 3 times I would always get the same result. And now I'm like, what is this?
We found the opposite of our person. That's
I'm
so funny.
Sorry. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm like, I could give everyone, my actual result is the Logician personality INTP-A/INTP-T. I've taken the test a lot of times privately. Like, I know that that's the result. So if that quenches anyone's curiosity. And you heard our answers. We just filled out the thing wrong. It's also like 10:35 p.m. where I am, and like I think 11:35 p.m. where Ty is. Right? Am I wrong? Or no?
It's the opposite. Yeah, I'm 9:25.
Blaze it. So it is quite late, and it's our second podcast, and also there was a whole hurricane where Ty lives. So, I'm sorry,
guys. Come on, take it easy on me.
So we kind of messed up those results a little because
I know because this doesn't align with what we were talking about.
With what we were saying, yeah, that like 29% thinking, 71% feeling. I'm like, that's literally the opposite of what I was answering. Tactics. This trait reflects our approach to working, planning, and decision making. 33% judging, 67% prospecting. Then identity is this trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities, and decisions. 33% assertive, 76% turbulent. That one seems fine.
I got mostly prospecting on the last one and mostly assertive on this one. I feel like me being more assertive makes sense, but the rest of them, I don't think I did right.
And like I caught myself doing it a couple of times to the point where I'm like, oh, could I go back? And I was like, oh, I can't. So it's all right. I still know what my results are. Maybe if you take the test again on your free time, we'll put it maybe in the description so people can know what our real results are.
Yeah, damn, this whole thing just for like us to have fucked up the test.
Just like, oh, we messed up the answer. You'll still get the answer. We'll put it in the description. I'll write out what mine is and probably
I'll take it again. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. But the whole point was to have these like questions as like discussions, and we still gave verbally gave the right answer. It was just we kind of with the clicking and the our bad. Subscribe.
Hope you liked it. Take the test and let us know what you got.
Yeah, we're gonna leave. I'll leave the actual link, but I'm also going to leave. Oh, here's what we'll do. No, I can.
We're gonna put the link. Oh, do you want to do that one?
I could send it to you because it's a short version if you want.
That's so funny. Let's try that. Let's do a BuzzFeed quiz that is okay.
There's a BuzzFeed version of the Myers-Briggs personality test. Oh wait, what is this? This is just a list of other quizzes. What?
Oh fuck.
Personality is really complex. What's the best way to measure it? These are all.
Pick some hats and we'll guess your personality type. I like that one. Let's do that. Now we'll know. They have a whole section called Myers-Briggs and it's fuckery. Taste this pickle and we'll let you know what kind of shoes you're going to wear on your wedding day.
The first question is pick a bucket hat. Do you see all these hats?
Holy shit.
I'm picking the cat one.
I kind of want to go with orange, the bright orange. I'm feeling that vibe.
There's so many of them. I mean, the palm trees and the skateboards are really nice, but I'm going to go with the cats. Pick a winter hat. God, there's like a pink one with studded ears.
Oh no.
I'm going to go with the orange toque looking hat because I wear almost the same one. It's just burgundy.
I'm going to go with the purple beanie because I have that hat.
Yeah. Pick a crazy hat. There's a shark hat, a pizza hat, a crab hat, a rainbow, flamingo, a bunny ear, something with lots of bells, a golf hat, a Christmas tree hat,
a jester's hat,
a horse head hat, a chicken face mask hat, and then Finding Nemo. It's just a whole clownfish. I'm going to go with the shark one.
I love the shark.
Why? Because it's so ridiculous. That's why.
I think I'm going to do the golf one because that one just looks fun. I like the little flag on top.
Pick a baseball cap. I'm the one that says daddy. That's it.
Doesn't matter. Hella cool.
That's the only one.
I like the one with all the flags on it. That's bright and fun. I could wear that with a lot of different outfits.
Why is it making us pick a beanie again?
What the fuck?
I'm going to pick the beanie with the cat that's flipping you over when you unflip the beanie. That's the one.
I love that. We out here. I'm gonna I already picked a beanie. Why do I have to pick a second one? Yeah, I'm gonna
pick another beanie.
I'm gonna do the Odd Future hat. That's pretty cool.
Is that the one with the alien on it?
No, that's the one with the donuts on it.
Oh, okay. Pick a visor. Ooh, excuse me. I'm going to choose the floral one.
I think I like the tourist see-through blue, the translucent blue. I like Beautiful.
That one. Pick a professional hat. The magician hat because there's a rabbit.
So there's a bunny. I'm going to do a pirate hat because I used to not ironically wear one of those.
You got ESFP, the entertainer. Excuse me. Considered spontaneous, energetic, and enthusiastic people. They're the kind of people who make life interesting. Definitely not.
You're definitely very interesting, but I don't think in like a energetic and spontaneous kind of way. I think in a conversational and thoughtful kind of way.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I got ESTP, known as the entrepreneur, considered to be smart, energetic, and perceptive. They are typically adrenaline junkies who live their lives on the edge.
I mean, other than that last part, the rest was good. But it's like, yeah, you're, analytical. You'd make a great business person. You also like skydiving and bungee jumping.
Well, I do kind of like stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, I mean, yeah.
Those sound fun.
I was like, you also like tattoos in people's kitchens. I was like, actually,
wait a second.
Wait a minute.
We did that one. Okay, well, now we really know. Now we have the definitive true answer that cannot be contested. The BuzzFeed hat personality type quiz. Take it on your own and let us know what you got. I hope this has been your favorite episode of my favorite podcast.
You did it. Thanks for tuning in. It was a bit experimental, but we hope you enjoyed it. And again, we'll leave those actual results in the description so you can see what we actually got on the personality test. We'll do that off screen. It's been 2 hours, so
yeah.
Thanks so much. Tune in next week. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.